Okay, so about half of the houses that we have looked at are pitched roofs like this one. Some of them are flat, which is like a flat leaning roof, and these are pitched roofs. It just means they come to a point at the top. Sometimes there are damage to porches with pitched roofs, or the facade of a house with a pitched roof, or the actual whole roof is a pitch. We go to a house and assess what's wrong first, and then try to fix everything that we see. Of course, this is a display house, so we're gonna act like there's damage to the roof. So when we get there, we set up our ladder. We always have somebody hold the ladder when the volunteers go up, so I'll be the one going up the ladder. Alyssa will be my volunteer today. So hold the ladder for me while I'm headed up. Once I'm comfortable on the ladder, we usually ask for the volunteers to hand us up what we need. So I'll need, I'm looking around, I know I need a drill. I'll definitely need a tarp. And I have a bunch of screws on me in my pouch. Okay, so on a roof like this, if you could just slide it, so I just want to make sure they can see us. Yeah, that's perfect. So on a pitch roof like this, water comes down the roof. If this, let's say it's damaged right here in this area here, some of the mistakes that are easier to make is simply placing the roof tarp over the patched area. But the problem with that is when water runs down the roof, it'll just go right under the tarp. So what we've been doing is trying to tarp it a couple feet over the pitch. So let's say, let me fold this. So we come over the pitch this way. Remember our damage spot is kind of right in here. We come over the pitch this way and lay it this way, so when water hits, it'll run down this way and down that way. This site, of course, is new, but before we do this, we kind of sweep off any debris, rocks, again, any chimneys that are falling on the roof, we toss those bricks off. We make sure the site is relatively clean. Again, tarping is a temporary solution, but if you do it the right way, it'll last as long as it possibly can. Now I need something to secure this tarp. They sell grip right roofing nails, which usually work, but for a more long-term effect, we've been using 2x4s and wood to secure the tarp, simply because it'll last longer. And if we have heavy winds, heavy rain, it'll just support that much better than just roofing nails. And with the sites not being constant, they all are so variable, we want something that's a little stronger that'll secure the tarp more. So we've been using 3-inch decking screws, work great. And we've been securing them with 2x4. So Alyssa, could I have you hand me a 2x4? A couple of them. You can hand me a 1, thank you. 2, thank you. The houses we work with are usually a little larger than this, but this is exactly how most of this works. Yeah. Yep. Could you hand me some of those roofing nails too, Alyssa? Yep. Thank you. So just so I can show you guys what I'm talking about, these are the nails I was mentioning. They work great if you can actually get the nails to stick into the wood. Hopefully you guys can see this. They usually hold really great in wood. On our site, some of the roofs have been overlaid 2 or 3 times, which means it's shingles there, and the next roofer just came and put more shingles there, and maybe the next roofer just came and put more shingles there. So it's harder to get these to actually stick. So to avoid that, and especially to avoid that, we're working with some labor teams that are just not used to working together, and to be more efficient, we use 2x4. So I will I'll get this first 2x4 attached on this side. I'm gonna toss this off. So I have a stud on this side here. I'll make sure my tarp is nice and neat. Nice and neat and over the pitch of the roof. I'll grab my drill and my 3-inch screw, and I'll just screw through everything that's there until I hear it clicking inside some wood. So there we go, that's what you want to hear. Screw this down pretty secure like that. And I doubt, with doing it like that, I doubt this is going anywhere anytime soon. Now that that's secure, we want to secure all sides of this so the wind doesn't get underneath the tarp and move it. Every time wind gets, if you see a tarp blowing usually in the center, it's a lot of pressure building up on a tarp and it's just weakening the tarp. Again, all this is temporary. If wood keeps hitting this, eventually it's gonna rip, it's gonna start discoloring and it'll fail. The better we secure the tarp, the less likely it'll fail. So could I have one more piece of wood, Alyssa, please? Thank you. So I'm gonna take this, do the same thing I did here at the bottom of the tarp on this side. And again, we usually cut these to size to what we're using on the tarp. And we're trying to not allow any wood to get under the tarp. So let's say this was short about this way. If we just secured it here and wood kept flying under this part of the tarp, eventually this section of the tarp will weaken and tear and it will be a problem. So we cut our wood to size and secure the whole entire tarp here. Easiest way with volunteers is just to have somebody on the roof. This ladder will be moved right there. I would drill in my side. Pass my drill to a volunteer that would be, if that ladder was moved there, and they would drill this side. Since I'm the only one up here, I'll go ahead and drill that in. So right now, we have the roof secured, and the tarp is usually a square when it's simple. We have the roof secured in 2 spots, one here and one here. Now we have to secure the sides as well, because remember, any wind under the tarp is gonna eventually cause problems. This is gonna make the tarp fail faster. So this area here and this area here still needs to be covered. I just had Alyssa pass me a saw. I can just eyeball this and give it a quick cut. There's an organization, by the way, that's building 100 tiny homes in North City. They've lent me their tiny home to give this demonstration. So shout out to them. They're actually working out of the Wesley House right now. You go to the Wesley House during regular business hours on weekdays. The program is free to sign up for, and they pay youth $15 an hour to help build these tiny homes too. They have a goal of building 100 tiny homes, so support their organization as well. I'm gonna give this one more cut so it's not sticking over the pitch like this. All right, I'm gonna secure this here. Same thing, we're using 3-inch screws. Sometimes on larger roofs, of course, it's not as easy for me to have reach of everything on the roof. All we would do is have one person on the roof that's a little more secure when moving around on roofs. We will move that ladder to this side. Somebody will reach up and put a screw right here if I can't reach it. Since I'm up here now and this is a control site, I'll just screw this in now. And then we got one more, same thing on that side. I'll eyeball this and cut it. I got one more side to cover in the front of the building. Same thing. We try to keep it as simple as possible. It's a long list of people that need help, so we kind of do our thing, keep it moving. So I'm gonna cut this a little shorter. Same deal, right? So 2 3-inch screws. Throw 2 of these in. All right, so that's basically it. Now what you have is a tarp that has minimal area for wind to come underneath. In actuality, it's 2 small spots here. I would just cut 2 small pieces of wood and cover those spots. This is excess. So the tarp can wave if it's secured here. You don't want any wind in the middle of the tarp. If we wanted to make this look neat and pretty, we would just cut this excess off. Since the need is so vast, we just do exactly what's needed and move on to the next house. So this is a properly tarped pitched roof house. We see this exact thing about 40% of the time. And there's a few other variables, but if you got this basic kind of situation down, you got enough to come and volunteer and help.